Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. It's good to be back. I am subbing for Jesse this week, Dojo graduates, because Jesse is playing the 2024 US Senior Championships this week and next week. So he, of course, cannot fulfill his normal duties as as the guy that promotes and graduates the grads. But not to worry, I'm here to take. It's actually a very busy week for me, but covering the event, multiple different places, doing multiple jobs. But I'm not playing, so it's the stress is a lot less on me. I'm sure it is on Jesse. What's up? We got Hyperion in the chat. Hello. So for those that don't know, the graduates, this is a show where every week we highlight recent graduates in the Dojo Training Program, people that have went up one rating level or a cohort. Today we're going to be doing the under 1,000 graduates, so everyone under 1,000 that's gained the level, gone from 6 to 700, 3 to 400, 4 to 500. And so on. This is a show where we highlight the work they've done, maybe take a look at a game or two, and hopefully give them some tips for further improvement, as well as some general guidance for players around this level that also want to improve. So it's not just for the grads, but also for the community. Get some additional advice on how to work your way up. Actually, the graduate show is amazing, folks. I don't know if you realize, but we have today we have 12 graduates for under 1,000. On Friday, I'm going to be doing the 1,000 plus graduation show where there's another, I think, 10 or so grads. And every week we get 20 total graduates, 25 graduates a week. So people gaining 100 points. And the way it works in the program, it's up to you, whichever rating system you want to choose. A lot of people use their USC, chess.com or Chess when they're starting out. But then once you start playing in tournaments, you might get something like a US chess rating or a FIDE rating, and then eventually people switch to that, either the FIDE or their national OTB rating, whatever that may be. But for the most part, we see people using chess.com, Chess, and yeah, it's amazing. We get 20, 25 grads a week just going up a level. Obviously, not everyone is gaining points all the time, but as you guys can see on my screen in front of me here, some of these players have already earned a couple of badges. You get one badge every time you graduate. And we see a couple of people have already graduated a couple times. And most importantly, a reminder for all that are in the program, not in the program, graduation is all based on your rating. So it's like the rating system you choose. Once you cross that threshold, whether it's 400 or, we adjust it so it might be 325 USCF or 650 Chess or whatever it is. Once you cross that rating threshold, then you're eligible to graduate to the next level. It's all about rating. The program is not designed to be completed in full at every level. Rather, it's just to give you the tasks that you need to work on in order to improve. And if you do those things, play games, you annotate those games, go through the books, you will gain, and then that's what your graduation is based on. Okay, so with that, let's get into it. I see we got Quad, Deal Burger, Main 35. Hello, folks. Let's start with some of our grads. We don't have a ton of time for today's show. First one here, we have graduated from 3 to 400 to 4 to 500. Chocolad Bit. Okay, no comments. Let's check out the profile. I think I have it open here. There we go. Nice straight line. Starting from, I think this is July 15th. This is pretty recent. This is just going from 940 to 940. Still, that's what we like to see. Awesome tactics rating here, 545. Folks, this is new. Notice that the tactics rating here is green, and it's 545 because this person is in the 4 to 500 cohorts. Their tactics rating puts them at 545, meaning tactically they're already at the level of the next cohort, which means that they don't have to necessarily work on tactics so much, but they should be working on game analysis, the end games, going through some books. Of course, the books are going to be mostly tactical at this level, but it's a good indicator of where they're at. All right, let's see their activity here. We can see the score breakdown, the time breakdown, what they've been spending their time on. 50% tactics, both in time and score. I think this is actually pretty decent for players under 1,000. In general, I would say tactics, and this yellow one, games and analysis, probably should be the biggest buckets, because this is the time spent playing games as well as analyzing them. And let's just see the timeline here. Completed Puzzle Rush 5 minutes. This is July 17th. This was just like a couple hours ago. So this person is rocking it. Completed Puzzle Survival, so they got the necessary score for Puzzle Rush, Puzzle Survival. Nice, that's what got the tactics rating up. Completed Memorize Greco NN. Awesome. Study Master Games. Okay, not many people do that. That's great to see. Looks like they got all five done. Although they only spent, looks like we only spent total time 20 minutes. I probably want to spend more than that. I would think like 10 to 20 minutes per game would be a good amount of time to spend when studying mastery games. Even if they're not annotated, just playing through the games, just trying to get a couple of ideas, trying to understand some of the moves. That takes time, and it's helpful. Just the process of trying to figure stuff out. Okay. Nice. So just recently graduated from 3 to 4 to 4 to 500. Cross Online commented, congrats on breaking to 4 to 500. Make sure to upload and analyze classic games so that Jesse has something to go over on stream. Yes, good advice. Okay, let's see. Do we have any games? Oh, no games yet. All right, that's all right. Definitely try to get some games in, because, okay, number one, it gives us something to look at for the grad show, but also when we upload our games, we tend to take our games a lot more seriously because we know that others are going to look at them. So we play more seriously, we then analyze them and annotate them more seriously, and then we become better players by doing so. Okay, well, congrats. Let's go to the next graduate. We got Jeff going from 4 to 5 to 5 to 6, and Jeff has already earned the first 3 badges. So go, Jeff. Comments, let's keep pushing. Let's go, Jeff. Let's keep pushing. All right, rating graph, chess.com rapid. Jeff here, awesome. We got Jeff in the chat. Needs to update the tasks more. Yeah, no worries. I totally understand. I feel like our app here could be better in terms of like inputting more, inputting your tasks, like making it like easier and like more satisfying. It's something that we're just like very, very slowly working on. During the graduate show, I'm pretty sure this is also the show where Jesse just like complains about the site nonstop, right? And things like he wants fixed. So I'm pretty sure that's part of it. So I'm just trying to honor the tradition. So yeah, definitely we're gonna work towards kind of like making the input process a bit more satisfying. So if you have more suggestions on that, definitely let us know, like in the Discord, like the feedback forums, or any place like that. And yeah, we have a lot of plans. Like we want to introduce like some streaks into the mix, and like some daily tasks, some weekly tasks, things to like because people, they see the training plan, they get overwhelmed because it's like so many things, and it's like 11 tasks here. It's like so many tasks. So it's like we try to like kind of simplify it, or we're trying to eventually simplify it, so that you just kind of get like, okay, here's what you need to do today, here's what you need to do this week, here's what you need to accomplish this month, this year, and just kind of break it down for folks easier. But it's a work in progress. Anyway, let's see the activity. Polgar main and ones, nice. Everyone's first chess workbook. This one's very popular amongst the lower cohorts. Definitely great for tactics. Oh, I see Jeff graduated not too long ago. 3 to 4, 4 to 500. Okay, we got multiple graduations here for Jeff. Congrats. Let me read this. After a couple months of only doing chess puzzles, tactics on my free time, I decided to come back and start playing again. I noticed the puzzles help a lot to see tactics and positions. I still need to be more patient with my game, since I've noticed most of my mistakes, it's because I'm being reactive and not analyzing the position. It was good to be back in the dojo. Yeah, welcome back, Jeff. Absolutely. I would totally agree. I think that's one of the biggest things that I often see in these shows, Jesse and David as well, is players at lower levels, like the number one mistake is like not spending enough time during the games, just like spending more time per move, not blitzing. What often happens, like you have a perfectly normal position, your opponent makes a move, and then you kind of, you're reacting to it. You think like, oh, they're attacking something or they're trying to do this, but you're not spending any time to ask questions like, is that even a threat? Is that even a good idea for them? Do I have anything that I can do that's better? And like finally, like, okay, do I have to actually like deal with this threat? Other times your opponent makes a move and then we just like make a move super fast, and then we didn't realize that they were actually threatening to like take our knight or like fork our pieces, and we just totally miss like a tactic for the opponent, which of course is a big no-no. And so yeah, the way to get around that is not necessarily just by magically becoming a chess player, but rather actively during the game spending more time kind of disciplined, focusing yourself, looking at the opponent's threats, looking at what the opponents can do, and really forcing yourself to spend more time during your classical games. Of course, we're talking about classical chess. You got like 30, 45 minutes, 90 minutes, 2 hours on the clock. So you can spend a couple minutes per position, more than a few minutes in the middle game for sure, to analyze and calculate things and try to figure it out. So let's see if we got any games from Jeff we can look at. Nice. All right. Got a couple here. Let's look at the most recent one. And let me make sure stream is still. Oh yeah, the stream is beautiful. You guys are dealing with a seasoned professional here. Okay. So here's Jeff's game. We're playing black against fellow 1500. I'm guessing these are Lee chess ratings. This is my first classical game. Okay, so both players I think are on their provisional Lee chess 1500. That's so funny to me. Lee chess starts at 15. The program starts at 0 to 300. Lee chess starts at 1500. You know, just to give you a sense. Sometimes lower, right? But still, it's very high. E5, bishop f5. Okay, so classic Caro-Kann. And black plays bishop f5. This is, most common reaction to the advanced line, just getting the bishop out and then looking to play e6 after that. So knight f3, e6, knight e7, knight g6, bishop e7, bishop d3, and that seems like a mistake from white. If anything was concerning me for black, be that maybe this bishop would be low on squares and white could play like an h3, g4 one day. I don't think this is too concerning because h3, black can go h5 in a lot of positions and then not have to worry about the g4. Oh, there's a newer game. That's all right. This game looks well annotated. I think would be useful. So yeah, that would be the only thing that was kind of worrying me, but now white allows us to trade off this bishop, and I think black should be quite happy. So knight d7, knight f4, and rook c8. All right, so rook c8, this to me is the first move that feels too slow. And in fact, I feel like knight d7 actually with this annotation is similar. In a lot of these cases, in this one in particular, you can just play c5 right away. And the knight is actually going to be stronger on c6. And then eventually you can get the rook behind as well. But you don't need to make a bunch of these preparatory moves first for a move that you can just play right away. And here the idea is not to push c4, but rather to just put pressure on white center. Once you develop your queen side, you can also think about moves like f6 to try to get white to take. Then you open up your bishop, and it's all about attacking the center here. And so yeah, this is definitely the move I would kind of pinpoint as being like the good approach here in terms of like choosing a plan. With knight d7, it's like, yeah, we're just being overly preparatory, especially with this move rook c8. We don't need either of these moves to get c5 in, and most importantly, the knight is actually just going to be stronger on c6. It's blocking the rook, but it's putting pressure on d4. It can jump to b4 and just going to be better placed here. So bishop d2, c5, we finally get it in, c3, and c4. Yeah, definitely a big no-no. And every French player, I know we started with the Caro-Kann, but officially now we're in a French structure. It's a good French for black. We traded off the bad bishop, but it's still a French structure. And yeah, we really want to do this. The only time we really want to play c4 and it's like actually good is if white's king is on the queen side, and by playing c4 we actually just get this immediate attack with b5, b4, and we get the queen side expansion. Here we have no such thing, so here we desperately need the counterplay against the center, so like queen to b6 and then eventually f6. Okay, so c4, got knight h4 in, and at this point I would say white is doing quite well because we've kind of blocked off a lot of our play. We get f6 in, that's very good. Knight f4. We take here, but we hang knight takes e6, and I think this might have been unintentional. Yeah, f takes e5, given a double question mark. Right, so we probably have other moves here. A note for the annotations: whenever you give yourself a double question mark or a single question mark, you got to offer an alternative. You got to say, well, what was better? And it might be obvious, you know, like queen e7, for example, queen e8. There's lots of moves that defend the pawn and allow you to take on e5 next. But still, for the sake of your annotations, you want to include the move that you would play if you got another chance in this position, just to kind of like, yeah, provide an alternative and an improvement on the text. Okay, so takes. We lose the exchange. We got some compensation though, maybe some activity. Takes, queen f4. Okay, probably white could have played g3 here and just gone after this, but okay, at least queen g4 we'll have. So white goes rook e1, queen g5, queen c1. Not trading queens, absolutely. Absolutely, we're down material. We want to keep the queens on the board. So a4, rook comes in, check, knight f8, and okay, now white plays for some counterplay. Rook g4, g3, we sack, but it doesn't seem to get enough here. In fact, we didn't have to sack right away. Maybe there was other moves we could play because white's not actually threatening to take the bishop here. Maybe throw a knight f4, I don't know. I mean, we're attacking, we got to go full steam here. Look for some knight h3 or something. I don't quite see this working for black. You know, king h1, and eventually, yeah, something's gonna hang. I don't see the mate for us, but I think that's the kind of move we have to play at this point. We got to recognize that taking is not totally necessary, though I recognize we're actually just in total time trouble here, so don't worry about it too much. And yeah, looks like white was able to find the mate. Yeah, actually interesting game. I would say like the early opening or late opening, early middle game, probably the most important part here. Like we talked about these moves, knight d7, rook c8 a bit slow, and then c4 just completely closing down our queenside play. We want to just actually put more pressure on the center. Okay, good job, Jeff. Let's keep going. Oh, we got tons of names to get through. We got Samiska here, graduating to 5 to 600. Very nice. Oh, and we had a comment from Samiska. All right, let's see. Started playing chess approximately 6 months ago. Nice. One of the best decisions in this newfound 6-month journey has been joining the dojo. Let's go. Notable improvements from the dojo already. Ditched opening theory, which, although enjoyable, focuses a lot on memorization without much explanation, thinking deeper and independently about positions. Yep, preaching to the choir. And playing longer games. Plus annotating, community reviewing, which by definition force you to think deeper and slower. By the way, my rapid game showed improvements because my opponents want to rush and blunder, whereas I do not. Yes, exactly, folks. If you want to farm some rating points, just play the pool in rapid and just like take your time. just like pause. Just take your time. At some points, you'll just frustrate so much that they'll just quit the game. They'll just abandon the game. They'll just give you the rating points because you're not playing bullet. And that's fine. Take the rating points. Other opponents, they'll just play quickly and blunder. And if you just take advantage of those blunders, you can pick up a lot of pieces, a lot of free pieces, a lot of free points. Okay. and excellent resources and book suggestions catered at my level. Refocusing on fundamentals and bringing structure was crucial. I feel already play better and more enjoyable chess. Absolutely. That's exactly what we designed the program for. Give you a sense of what to do, so you can just focus on improving, playing good chess, enjoying yourself, thinking deeper, and so on. So let's see what we got. Puzzle survival. Got the online tactics tune-up. Chess King for today. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Chess King apps. In particular, they're called CT Art. Sometimes I think they have like a main app now that's called Chess King. You can get different courses on it, like tactics for beginners and things like that. Those apps are great for tactics. We now have our own tactics test as well that are super cool. Okay, repeating mate in ones. Nice. Okay, tactics guide, visualization guide. Got some blunder games in. Beautiful. All right, let's see if we got some games here. Love the chart. Lots of time on tactics, games, and analysis. I'm sure we'll be seeing more graduations soon. All right, we got one game from this month. Nice. Let's take a look. Okay, looks like this was on chess.com. My first 30-0 classical game I played online and I really enjoyed. I'm not clear if this is their first 30-0 classical online game or if it's just the first one that they really enjoy. Maybe they played others that they didn't enjoy. I don't know. Okay. I should have won the endgame, but my endgame inexperience led to a draw due to insufficient material. I was also very low on time. Okay, it happens. Let's take a look. So opening to me looks absolutely fine. We got our pieces out, got a nice little fianchetto. G5, definitely very aggressive. We go knight e5 and bishop d6. Oh, just hangs the whole house. Bishop takes and then the rook hangs as well. So f6, trying to mix things up. Now the rook is still hanging. So we go knight g6. Yeah, the rook is not really going anywhere. Knight g6, the knight might get a little trapped here. Knight c4 is probably safer. In any case, white is completely winning. So rook h7. We take this one. c6. c4. We still got queen d3 to defend this guy. But really, I'd be working on breaking one of these pieces out. So yeah, either c4, d5 or f4, f5. Okay, knight a6. So let's see the technique. Queen a4 takes. Okay, we got another piece for the bishop. That's great. King f7, c5, and queen d3. I like c5. It makes a lot of sense. You're like getting the queen back with tempo so that you can save your horse. Now, are we so winning that we can give the horse up and just have a completely winning position? Yeah, absolutely. Like if you just develop your pieces here, knight c3, e4, you're a rook up and you can win this smoothly. But I don't really see the issue with c5 and bringing the queen back. I mean, and now f5, and now you get your knight back, even better. So how did we not win this? How did we have to take a look. What happened with the technique here? So it takes e4, fine. You can do anything here as long as you don't lose your queen or lose all your pieces because you're up so much. Ooh, yeah, that's not good. Knight c6, that's a blunder. We spent about a minute on that one, so it wasn't like a super fast move, but that's the kind of blunder that we want to avoid. Any safe knight move would have been much better, of course. Okay, so we take now bishop d2, e5. We take this one, rook c1, getting our rooks in the game. Take on e4 looks good to me. Queen d5. Take this one, still looks good. And okay, we got all the extra material we need. And now we start, it seems like now this is where things start to go wrong. So queen c1, a3, and queen f3. Okay, we got into the end game. Now this was a 30-0 game, so there's no increment in this game, and that's the problem. Yeah, and I generally recommend to only play with increment exactly because of situations like this, because we're like totally winning, but because, you know, white has 10 seconds left on the clock, they're just not fast enough with the mouse to get the mate done. And yeah, and it looks like we just ran out of time. So we're very close, actually, one move away from checkmate, which is a bit unfortunate. Let's say the fastest way to mate here, I think, is to just put the queen here, like giving black the king, and then of course you can like pre-move the king moves, and eventually you get one of these mates, or face-to-face mate. So a bit unfortunate. That's why I always suggest playing with increments, so that you have enough time to finish the game. Here, even a 5-second increment would be enough to win the game comfortably. And yeah, the technique definitely could have been a bit better. I think here, we start to panic. I don't mind rook e4. I think actually completely fine decision, just to get rid of your opponent's tricky knight and leave yourself with just a very healthy extra bishop. I think it's totally fine, especially in some time trouble. But here we should be able to clinch things out. Now black is starting some checks here with like queen to b1. So I don't mind queen c1. I would have liked just to be a bit more active with like queen c3. And I don't care about this pawn, right? So this position is all about just like kind of getting all of your pieces in good position, and then eventually just promoting one pawn. You don't have to promote all your pawns, you just need one that you can promote. And as long as you keep your king safe, you avoid checks, it's going to be very, very hard for black to deal with the extra piece. So of course there's lots of winning moves here. This is really just about playing practically and quickly. And let's see, at this point, the easiest thing actually, we went the wrong way with the king. Maybe this is a good endgame point for everyone. The king is a really nice blockader actually in the endgame. So the king, number one, there's no threat here, so the king doesn't need to move. So king f4, totally unnecessary. We should just be promoting our pawn and moving very quickly. This one is just not going anywhere, but if you're really worried about it, you can just put the king in front, and then it's really not going anywhere. And that's it. Pre-move this, and bring your queen in, get a second queen, find the checkmate. Okay, it's hard to do it fast, but once again, that's why I think playing on the increment is going to be the way to go. Anyways, good stuff. Keep playing games and keep working through the program, and I'm sure we're going to be making lots of progress soon, because we're outplaying opponents. This time stuff, it's a very minor thing. Like, you'll get a bit of extra time next game, and then that's it. You'll start to clean up. Okay, next up we got Rotten Finger. Graduating from 5 to 600, 6 to 700. Started with the dojo some time ago. However, thanks to building a house and the rest of my life, there was a long break, and then had to downgrade quite a bit, and now working my way up again. But the program is great and motivating me. Glad to hear that. It's great that I've also found a training partner with the same mother tongue that helps enormously. Nice. Okay, let's take a look. Mr. Finger, 44-year-old husband and father of 3. Struggles with the limited time to make progress. Yeah, I know. Things are always busy. It's very typical complaint we get, not just from students, but also from people inside the house. The call often comes from inside. Okay, so looks like we recently graduated up to 6 to 700. I think using the chess.com rating. Next graduation is going to be at 950. Nice. Tactics rating 686. Looks like we can get the 5-minute score up as well, and we got to do some tests when we got a chance to. Let's see the activity. Hey, still getting some stuff done. Published a new game analysis. Nice. Annotated games, classical games. Graduated. Got cross online with the support. Okay, looks like lots of tactics, lots of classical games. Awesome. Let's take a look. And let's see, most recent one. Looks like this one. Yeah, I'm just going from the top of the list. All right. We were black in this game. Let's take a look. E4, E5. So this is a long 30 plus 30 with the Dojo training partner. Nice. So G30, 30-second increment. Love it. Okay, knight f6, d3, bishop c5. So far, so good. White goes d4. We just drop back. So at this point, white played d4 so early. We could definitely take this one and give a check. But I think what we did is totally fine. It says b4. b4 I think is not super dangerous. I think we can just drop back, but I don't know. Anyways, bishop b6 is safe because if d takes e5, knight takes e4, it's generally okay for black because you're hitting this one. Actually, I'm not so sure about that. Here, there's a bishop f7. We gotta maybe watch out for this. Actually, I think white is kind of happy here. But what we can do is just recapture. So for example, let's say we just take back, takes. Looks like white can win a pawn, but at the end of the line, black can win the pawn back. So rook f8, for example, bishop drops back, knight e4. We're hitting this guy, and I think black is totally fine. We got the pawn back. White has to do something like bishop e3. We can take this one, and yeah, we have a very reasonable endgame. All of our pieces getting out. Or like if bishop d5, then like c6. And yeah, white can't really hold on to the pawn. So that's probably the way to go. Anyways, white goes d5, which I think is not a good move because now our bishop is just good and white has made their bishop bad. So bishop g5, knight takes c4. Nice, that's a pawn. Let's go. Let's go bishop g5. White didn't play quickly, but just misses that the pawn is hanging. So takes. Now we're up a pawn, bishop g4. We take this one, go queen h4. Bishop b5 check. Yeah, I don't like that we allowed this check. I think it's okay, but you know, at this point, maybe just castle. Maybe just castle. And then we're completely safe. We're pawn up. We still have all the moves in the position. Knight g5, bishop g4. But we don't have to worry about any checks. King will be safe here. One day you can push your f pawn as well and then bring your rook up and over to go after the king side. I think this would be the way to go. This was a little bit frisky. We give up our bishop, which is not necessary, and we lose castling rights, which isn't great. Okay, ends up working out fine, I think. g6, queen f6. Uh-oh, danger to the queen. Does black find it? Nice. Knight takes h3. Beautiful tactic. Do your tactics, puzzle rush. Nice game overall. Good stuff. Keep up the good work. Let's see, we got a couple more people. Let's keep going. But love it, Fanger. I think basically just keep doing what you're doing. You know, even if you don't have a lot of time, that's fine. Working consistently is more important than working a lot. So like doing a little bit of work every day, even if it's like 30 minutes, but you're consistent, or just playing one game a week, but you're very diligent about analyzing that game, you'll make progress. Okay, next up we have Gonzalo going from 5 to 6 to 6 to 7. I just passed the 850 mark. Nice, but I played a lot this week. I will continue the next week and see if I advance or if I go back. I feel that I'm in the edge between 5 to 6 and 6 to 700 playing wise at the moment. Folks, let me be very clear. Once you hit the rating goal, you're done. You can graduate. You don't no longer have to worry about whether you're a true 600. That's not how chess works. The way chess works is your form may fluctuate. So on a daily basis, some days maybe you're a little bit better, some days you're worse. Also, there's a lot of luck involved. Some days you play an opponent who all of a sudden gets called into a meeting and then they abandon their game and they give you 12 free points. Other days that happens to you and you have to abandon the game and then you lose some points. Or sometimes you sleep weird and then you just play a little bit worse. Sometimes you sleep better, your opponents sleep worse, and then you play a little bit better. And so you're already at 600 strength. So you don't have to worry about whether your rating is 585 or 622. What you need to worry about is like, how do you now get to like 700? Right, 800. Like your form will fluctuate, but your average chess level is still going up. And once you hit 600 once, or any rating level, once you hit it once, you basically can hit it again. So you don't need to worry about like if you're lower level or not. Keep making progress. And I would say just like you've graduated to 6 to 700, stay there and start working through the program, and you'll surely be making more progress soon. So think about what you need to do to get to the next level. That's what I would suggest. And look, I mean, the chart looks great. It's just going up and up and up. So I think you're absolutely on the right track for 1,000 elo. Folks, DM me at Ginzalu202242 if you want a sparring partner. Nice. Not me, but this guy. DM this guy. All right, let's see the activity. Updated classical games, nice. Uh-oh, doing some chessable, some non-dojo work. Okay, all right, I'll let it slide for now, but be careful. Be careful, all right? Yeah, it's not the breaking 1,000 program, okay? No, I'm sure it's a lovely course. I'm sure it's good. But yeah, stick to the program. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go to the classical games. Personally, guys, I actually think people should just be allowed to set whatever program they want. That's what I've been pushing for the Dojo Training Program, is for us to have like our recommendations, but then to just give people perfect freedom to design their own training plan. I actually think that way we'd get a lot more people into the program that maybe don't like jive with all of our recommendations. They want to change something up. They want to read one book instead of the other. I would say fine. Like, honestly, a lot of the times the right book for you is the one that you end up reading in full, right? Rather than a specific recommendation. So if there's one tactics book that you're going to spend 20 hours on that's not in the program, and then you're not really interested in the books that we have, by all means, I would say like read the one that you're actually gonna go through, right? There's lots of great books out there that we don't know about, and lots of good courses as well. So I just want you guys to know I'm on your side. So I'm pushing hard for the ability to be able to just design your own plan. It doesn't mean that we won't be strongly still pushing the dojo plan on you. Believe me, we'll still be hammering you guys to do your classical games and your mates and all that stuff. And if Polgar mates are not in your program, then we'll definitely make fun of you and say that you're skipping leg day and call you a wimp. But still, I think it's nice to have the freedom to kind of, I think it'd be cool if the site kind of just provided people the tools to track whatever chess tools they were working through, any chess courses and so on. Okay, good breakdown here. Lots of tactics, lots of games and analysis. Let's see a game. Okay, most recent game here. We've got Gonzalo as white against Greco 63. Hopefully not the famous Greco that beat NN all those times. Okay, d4, d5. Our first London of the day. Looks good so far. Bishop takes f3, gf3. Gf3. I don't know about gf3. I mean, why do we go bishop e2 if we then go gf3? You know what I'm saying? If you're going to go gf3, put your bishop on d3 and then go gf3. Here, I think we should probably taking the bishop, I think, is much safer. Taking the pawn is fine. Let me just be clear. I'm sure it's fine objectively, but yeah, you know, it's a little, you know, you weaken your structure long term. Black's knights are kind of happier with the position than if you had just taken with the bishop, in my opinion. Even though we're covering this square, these weaknesses can be static, and then one day this guy might get traded off, and then, you know, we might have some problems. So by the way, just giving the pawn, huh? Not caring. Honestly, I don't mind. I don't hate it, honestly. But at this point, instead of e4 hanging the d pawn, go rook b1, collect your gold. I mean, this is what you're fighting for. Rook b1, rook takes b7. This is why we sack the b pawn, so that we can activate our rook. And this, I think, white has, like, you know, some interesting compensation. Now we have ideas. We play for c4, try to open up the queen side. It's not clear how exactly we're going to mobilize, but maybe like a takes bishop b5 kind of thing. You know, at some point we want to get our queen in. It's just a little bit awkward with the knight, but that would be the idea. That's how to play it. So it says, this is an idea of mine, but I was afraid of it because the queen can then win the pawn on a2. Well, buddy, you don't be giving up the pawn on b2 if you're not willing to give up the pawn on a2. All right, if you're afraid to give up the pawn, then you gotta defend this guy. You gotta go queen c1 or something. So yeah, Thursday the opening, probably not best. I'd say bishop d3, knight d2, also perfectly reasonable to recapture with the knights. Knight's probably the piece that wants this square the most, in fact. Anyway, so let's keep going. So e6, we go e4. You know, c3, offering a third pawn. I don't get it. I don't get this player. It's like we're afraid to give up the a pawn, but we're not afraid to give up the d pawn or the c pawn. You know, it's like, make up your mind. And these are good moves. We just have to be more, let's say, consistent with our ideas. Okay, so queen d8 again. I think rook takes b7 is the way to go. e5. And yeah, we're playing pretty fast here. I'm seeing like not spending a ton of time on these moves. Definitely want to spend more time in these sharp positions. Okay, f4, g6. We snap this one. That looks good. Black gives a check. h6, rook g1, and f5. Love f5. Absolutely love f5. Opening up the king. King to d7. Now this looks pretty good. We played f6 first, which is probably okay, but this just looks like devastation because we're hitting the bishop. If queen e7, we're taking the rook. So f6, we win a piece. Bishop d4, we trade queens. Definitely good queen trade. We're up a piece. We cripple black structure. Our rook can come in. Knight f3. Rook comes in. Should be good. Okay, trading off the rooks, I think perfectly fine decision. We could have kept the rooks active as well. This one should be winning, but the bishop actually gets a little caught. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. King g8, bishop takes f6. Says, dumb idea sacking my bishop when I have less pawns than the opponent. Well, hold on. I mean, what choice did white have? I mean, yeah, bishop is gone, unfortunately. So rook h8 actually was the mistake because, well, not rook h8. I think h4. I think this is the blunder because this is what lets our bishop get trapped. So bishop g7, this was our one chance to get the bishop out. After f6, a red like flag should have gone off in the head like, oh, hold on. Black is playing king f7 and is about to chase us down. So this was the last moment to get the bishop out. And yeah, okay, now it's a crazy knight endgame. Looks like we ended up drawing 4 pawns down. Well, gotta see this. How do we hold this one? How did we hold this one? Okay, we got the knight at least. And don't tell me the knight just outplayed the queen here. Okay. Uh-oh. Well, queen a2 is already... This queen is already well placed, right? So this feels like a queen c4 situation. Okay, queen a3, queen c6. Right, we go here. Check. Just keep giving checks. And... oh, okay. It says black was winning, but he somehow agreed on a draw. Fun. All right. Good stuff. I'm going to chalk that one up as an L. Let's just say black won that game. Yeah, definitely sacked a bit too much in the opening, but then we were like winning. And then we unfortunately missed the opponent's threats. It happens. I think playing a bit too fast was the culprit here. Yeah, f6, h4, this move was played very, very quickly. It seems like a couple of seconds, like 10 seconds. So no, we got to spend more time because you never know when your piece is about to get trapped, your opponent has some serious threat. Spending more time is the way to avoid these mistakes. And believe me, we can win a lot more games. Okay, let's go back. We got Nashikon. American lawyer, 42 years old in London, trying to not be terrible in chess. Nice. Moving up to 700 to 800 cohorts. Let's see the activity. Some tests. Weekly training plans. Oh wait, we didn't read the grad notes, but I think it was there anyway. Yes, here we go. Returning after some time away and very excited by all the new dojo features that have gone live the past few months. Yes, biggest observation from this cohort, getting out of high 800s, low 900s on chess.com took a real increase in accuracy, but still biggest thing is taking opening principles and then converting an opening advantage from winning race to develop while not making any major blunders. Game reviews with plus player key. Yeah, absolutely. Spending more time reviewing your games. That's the stuff. That's the stuff. Let's give them a let's go. Updated books. Nice. 1001 Deadly Checkmates. Non-dojo. That's okay. It's a good book. I think we have a different 1001 book in the program. Puzzle Rush 4, 5 Minute, Puzzle Rush Survival, Everyone's First Chess Workbook. And Blender Games, got some Blender Games in. Nice. The Blender Games are the rapid games. We have people play at lower levels just to get more games in, because playing is very important. Let's check out some classical games. It seems like the last one that was uploaded is back in April. So not super recent. Try to get some more games in. I think folks should be trying to upload games every month. I'm one to talk. I don't have a lot of games uploaded on the site myself, but I do analyze all my games. I just don't do a very good job of uploading them. Maybe that's the same for you guys as well. Maybe you've got them in Elite Chess Studies somewhere. But in any case, you should upload them to the site because people will want to see them. And I'm talking to myself right now. Okay, this game, we're playing black against fellow 900. E3, knight f6, bishop d3, knight b4, a3, and they let us take the bishop. Knight b4 I'm not sure about, mainly because, okay, the bishop can drop back and then you'll lose time with your knight. So I don't really like this knight b4 right here. I would just suggest developing e6, bishop d6. You can go bishop g4 and drop back this way, bishop h5, bishop g6, and then you get your other guy out with e6, bishop d6. Eventually you castle, you put the rook on e8, you play for e5, and yeah, your position is totally fine. Okay, knight b4, a3 takes, cd3. Yeah, takes with the pawn actually I think is the way to do it here, just to control the center, give white an open c file. Covers the e4 square as well. So e6, bishop d6, absolutely. Queen takes d6. I would have taken with the pawn actually to cover the e5 square, but this is okay. Knight g4. Yeah, don't love knight g4 because there's no threats. In fact, white can just kick you with h3 as he does, and it's as if he got not one move but two moves for free. So yeah, knight g4, definitely big mistake, and played very fast, under a minute. So yeah, we got to slow down. Apparently we didn't even see that this is defended. So yeah, we got to be able to see things like that, and that means spending more time just looking at the position. So knight d2, okay, now we're developing, good. E4 is a problem because e5 is coming. Takes, bishop e5. I think white could still play e5 and take a lot of material here, but rook to e1, and white should have ignored the attack and pursued e5, absolutely. So queen a6, and yeah, once again, bishop b5 playing just too fast here. Okay, d5, castles. All right, finally we castle, that's good. Knight e5, we see the threat, that's good. Rook c1, takes, knight takes d5, queen g4 check. Yeah, maybe taking with the rook is better, because you hit this one, and that's kind of annoying for white. Queen d6, and pin is the pin is strong here. Black looks like we're very happy, and pawn up. This one, okay, I think not so bad, but a little bit unclear. Rook g8. Now things get very sharp. Queen c6. Oh no, no good. Queen c6, no good. The rook is right there, dude. The rook is right there. Yeah, not good. Again, too fast. Looks like a 30-second move. Huge blunder. And it's not that we're bad at tactics or anything like that. It's just we're not spending enough time blunder checking. It's just got to be very careful, just scanning the board, looking what can I take, what can the opponent take. Seems like rook takes d2. That's something we could have captured for free, as this guy is defended. And yeah, then the position looks quite nice for black. So queen c6 takes on d8. We made it with queen g2. Great game, beautiful stuff. Work on playing slower. Definitely spend more time. And if you got to play longer games, fine, guys, no problem. If you have to play g45, so you have more time to spend, fine. No problemo. Okay, no problemo. All right, let's go next. We have Kimo. All right, Kimo recently graduated to 7 to 800. Let's check out the activity. Not a ton logged. Oh, let's read the grad message. It's the first time I analyzed by myself without the engine. Nice. I find it pretty tough, but very helpful. I think I lack in-game skill, but when games really end up there, we will see. The book suggested in the cohort really helped me visualize attacking in my games and try to think more than one move ahead. Good stuff. Oh, visualize tactics in your games. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great stuff. Keep working through the plan. Looks like we've already started marking some stuff off. And let's check out most recent game. Okay. And here we're playing black. Let's flip the board. Bishop c4, knight f6, knight c6, c3, d5, absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Love the natural moves. Queen f6. Oh, losing the knight. Yeah, we lost the knight. No good. So queen f6, we didn't play this super fast, a couple minutes. But yeah, we gotta keep track of our pieces, guys. Gotta be very, very careful with our material. Don't lose your stuff. Do not lose your stuff. What would have been better? Probably just castling. I think castling looks like the way to go here. Rook e8, maybe h6 somewhere if you need it. Bishop comes out to f5, queen d7, rook a d8, maybe break with e4 at some point, maybe some knight f4. Get your pieces out, get into the middle game. Okay, queen f6, bishop g5, queen g6, now white takes. Yeah, this was our last chance. We should have noticed the knight. And okay, well, piece down. Oh, white is giving some stuff back. Bishop g3. Boom, we take it. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Knight h2. Rook a d8. Okay, be careful not to lose your queen here, but we trade off. And we got the piece back. Oh, knight takes b4. Nice tactico. Love it. Love it. But we give up 2 pieces for the rook. Well, we got 2 pawns for it, so not bad. And oops, white got the knight trapped. Unlucky. And oh, also unlucky. Rook takes a2. Okay, and then we give the check. And takes here. So yeah, it was an unfortunate blunder, but thankfully we are still comfortably winning this one. And b2. Nice. Game over. Yeah, nice game. Like I mentioned, spend more time because we play well, but then in the opening we're making moves like this, you know, losing the knight. So when we focus, I think we can play well, but we got to avoid losing our pieces. Okay. Next one. We got your mate John. He says I'm 960 rated, graduating up to 7,800. Very nice. Very nice. Let's check out the activity here. Whoa. Endgame. A lot of endgame. Endgame and non-dojo. All right. Updated tactics. Basic endgame study. Nice. Lots and lots of endgames. Okay, great. John, I'm just going to say you're good on the endgames, boss. You're good on the endgames. Time to do more, let's say, tactics, games and analysis, and so on. Oh, no games. John, upload some games so we have something to look at, give you feedback on. That's what it's all about, playing chess at a higher level than you currently are. Okay, let's go to the next one. Looks like we got about 4 more. Next up, we got Hyperion. Okay, 8 to 900 using the USCF rating. Nice. Next graduation, 950. The score breakdown. Oh, we got Hyperion in the chat. It says, started playing chess January 2022. Nice, nice, nice. A couple of friends helped you a lot. Still not happy with my results. Mostly in my OTB results, I can't beat anyone over 1100 yet. Finally hit a little bit of a chess burnout. So my lack of progress has demotivated me. Not sure how to have faith. Not a big progress amount in this graduation as I start off near the top of the previous band. But still, a graduation is a graduation. So it sounds like something is going right if the rating is going up. Yeah, USCF 1100 is not exactly easy. And it takes time. It says we've been playing since January 2022, so not a ton of time, like only a couple of years. It takes people years to get to this level sometimes. All right, let's take a look at the games and see what's going on there. So, all right, most recent game I see is from May. So try to get some more games in. Because that's how we improve, by playing lots of games and then analyzing them, learning from the mistakes. And like the results really, they matter kind of short term, like they affect you. Obviously you want to play well, you don't want to lose games, you want to win, and so on and so on and so on. But long term, the more you play, the more you improve. So the results in the long term don't matter that much, right? Like in a couple of years from now, let's say when you're a 1500 player or whatever you may be, you're not going to be thinking about that time you were 800 and like you lost the game, you know, because you went for it and you're like rejected a draw or whatever. So play more, play against opponents close to your level or a little bit higher, and analyze these games, take them very seriously, and that's how you do it. But let's take a look, see what tips we can offer you here. And let's see, we're playing white in this game, correct? C3. Or are we black? Yeah, white. Okay, great. So E3, knight F3, queen B6, queen C2, bishop F5. Oh, you are playing black. Okay. Thank you. All right, good. Okay, so queen B6, we hit the pawn and we got this bishop F5 tempo, which is nice because if white takes, we got queen B2 and we win the rook. So queen C1, C4. I think C4 is okay. I'm not sure it's necessary because E6, for example, is just going to be like a developing move. C4 doesn't really develop anything, right? So I don't know if we need this one, but it's probably fine. E6, bishop comes out. We got some trades. Put the bishop on E4 and then we drop back. Okay, so yeah, this one I don't like because if we make this move and then white comes here, which is like supernatural, just challenging our bishop, and then we drop back, it begs the question, why did we play bishop E4 in the first place, right? So either you leave this guy here, you play something like F5, which to me looks completely reasonable, because if white takes and you gain space, you can either take this way and then you have this nice D5 square for your queen. You can start pushing on the queen side, you go B5, B4, or you can take with the F pawn and then you get this square on F5 for your rooks. Maybe you can use that, transfer your rooks to the king side, maybe prepare some kind of G5 break. This also feels very fine for black. Or you could just trade on F3, or you could put the bishop on D3 with tempo. That's nice. But yeah, definitely we shouldn't play this one if we're just going to drop back. It just feels like we're playing one move at a time. So bishop E2, A6. Yeah, not seeing the point of this move either. I'm kind of getting a sense that we're overly careful with our chess. It's A6, it's like, what is A6? Nothing's hanging yet. White hasn't played A4. If they do, we can meet that with A6 if we wanted. That wouldn't be the only option. We can also take this guy. Maybe even some B4 ideas. One idea that's kind of cool I'll share with you. Let's say we go rook FC8, and here we're just improving our rook. So a6, the problem is like it doesn't really help anything. It's kind of like a semi-useless pawn move. Rook c8 improves the rook, and on a4 it sets up this idea to go b4, which may or may not be good, but it is certainly interesting. I think it is actually kind of good here. So if takes, the point is we get c3 in, only possible because we made an active move with the rook, and then the queen is going to come in, queen takes b4, we get our pawn back. Now this pawn is weak, the c2 pawn is going to be super strong. I think it's just like a winning position for black because, okay, whatever, white has to defend this pawn somehow. We get this pawn to c2, the rook comes into c3, and black's pieces are just completely dominating here. This pawn, way, way, way too strong. So this is an example of what can happen when you play for more active ideas rather than just kind of passively defending things before your opponent has even attacked them, which is what is the feeling I got from a couple of these moves. Just a little bit too proactive. Okay, so takes, rook b8. Whoa, what happened here? Okay, question for the opponent. Yes, very impatient. Okay, nice pickup. We got the queen. We got the rook. Oof. Okay, it pays to keep track of the pieces, you know? It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your pieces are? Okay, promoting the second pawn, and we got the simple ladder mate. Nice technique, perfect technique, honestly, after winning the queen. Very, very sensible. It's not easy for everyone to just convert. This is another example of this is the same thing I was talking about just a little while ago, being like overly cautious. White plays a4, you go a5. Why? Right? You're up a queen. Use your queen. Why do you need a5? You're up the queen. Use your queen. Yeah, this pawn's not going nowhere. So this is the kind of thing. It's this mindset. I don't trust this mindset. It's like I said, overly cautious, right? It doesn't matter at that point. You are up the queen, right? It doesn't matter, but it matters because I think you're going to be making these kinds of moves in much more active positions where the value of one tempo will be much greater. Okay, folks, not a lot of time, so let's keep going. Got mate in 35 here. Third graduation, been playing chess since January, looking to join the 4-digit chess.com club and beyond. All right, cool. Yes, absolutely, Hyperion, keep up the good work, play more games, annotate more, and I'm sure we'll see you back here for this show. Let's see what Mate in 35 is doing. First book of Morphe, updated mastery games, about 20 minutes per game here. Awesome. That's what I like to see. Thank you, folks, for subscribing. Much appreciated. Okay. Oh, and here's some notes on this graduation. Yes, let's read. So going up to 900 to 1,000. I'm going back to the basics on openings, focusing on principles, basic middle game plans. Practically speaking, that means playing e4, knight f3, c4. I think bishop c4, probably getting castled quickly and focusing on finding and improving my worst pieces in the early middle game. Constantly looking for improving moves with threats. Practically speaking, this doesn't change that much, but I'm taking Jesse's advice to heart. Good. Don't focus on the crazy opening theory. Yeah, just get your pieces out. Play like Morphe. Play like you think Morphe would play, right? You think Morphe had Chessable in his day? You think he was studying Chessable, reviewing his lines in the Evans Gambit? Nah, he was just playing, learning from the games, playing again, trying, being active, solving puzzles. If they had, I don't even know if they had puzzles back then. They probably had some Philidor book of puzzles that they were working through. Okay, going through first book of Morphe, very good. Logical chess step by step, move by move, I think. Awesome. Good books. Great. Let's see a game. Okay, got a game here from May. Let's definitely get some more games in soon. I would suggest trying to upload 3-4 games a month. Okay, let's see what we got here. Caro Khan, we're playing black. We gave a check, and then we went back queen b6. Yeah, I don't love this check because we kind of just gave white a tempo. And yeah, that's very old. Sorry, I'm not seeing I'm not seeing more recent games. I think maybe need to publish the game, because I just see 3 here. Yeah, you guys gotta publish. I think someone else was saying, I wasn't looking at the most recent game, but you guys gotta publish the games now. I think that's a new thing. I think it's a new thing that you have to publish. The point is so that you can like annotate your games without publishing them, so that you don't have to worry about people seeing them until they're ready. But you do have to like publish the game for it to be public. Yes, Eigen, exactly. You should upload the first OTB Classic games. Absolutely. Okay, publish. Let's refresh. Look at that. Look at that, folks. This is a site. This is a site. Okay, here we got the game. All right, next one. yeah, I think that's a new thing, so no worries. Okay, lovely annotations. After getting roasted by Jesse on the last graduate stream for talking about opening theory, that's really funny. I've been strictly trying to stay on the principles train. Good. Avoided all opening study. Great. I know zilch about it, except that I play the Alapin. What happens after c3, d4 is completely improvised. Great. I think that's a better way to learn. So yeah, you have your basic idea. You're going c3, d4, and fighting for the center. And then from here, you figure it out. Okay, so d5. Black challenges you in the center. You take. You have 2 options, as you mentioned. You can either take or push e5. e5, I would say, is more aggressive because you're taking space and you're not letting black open up the bishop. Taking, you allow them to open up the bishop. Okay, they took with the queen, which is also completely normal. But yeah, I would say e5 is going to be the more ambitious move in general in these positions, just taking more space and using your advantage of the white pieces. Okay. So takes, and yeah, it says pushing it leads into a weird transposition into the French. I don't like playing against the French, so I took. Look, boss, you're a e4 player, and that means that your opponent has the chance to play e6, move 1. It does transpose into the French. It's actually not a weird transposition. It's very, very typical. It's one of the perks of the Alapin that a lot of times you do get an advanced French structure. I would say don't fear this one. It's perfectly playable for white. Black has their own struggles with the bad bishop. If you really don't like it for white, one thing you can do is try to play it as black. Play the French a couple of games and see how you like it. You know, dealing with this bishop, you'll quickly realize that white has the sunnier side of things. IMO. Jesse likes the French. He plays it a lot. I mean, I also played the French back in the day, but I would say don't fear this one. The best way to learn how to face something is to play against it head on, because that's what will give you the experience. So yeah, don't shy away from it. It's all about learning chess. That said, this is totally fine. Castles. Black goes c4. Yeah, definitely strategic mistake, because they had all this pressure on your center and now they just give it up. So knight d2. b3 also, yeah, very, very logical here. Absolutely love the annotation. b5. b3 even stronger now, because now black is going to have some issues on the queen side. So knight a5 takes, queen a4 check, grab this one, rook c8, knight e5, hold on to our extra pawn. I think you're playing great here. Bishop e1, takes, we win the piece, and rook c1. Beautiful game. Honestly, you played very, very well in this one. So good stuff. Yeah, I would say you learned your lesson. From Jesse. You know, you just started developing your pieces. You let your opponent make the mistakes, and that's it. Just played like normal chess. You take, defend your stuff, get your pieces out, take your opponent's stuff. Easy life. Okay. Nice job. Sure, we'll be seeing you above 1,000 soon. All right, let's go to Daniel. And then we got one more after that, Peter Gibson. Daniel graduated to 1,000, 1,100. Whoa, look at these. Daniel, badge number 7. Roasting through the program. Roasting. Started in, looks like early this year. And yeah, absolutely. Looks like they went up. Chess.com up to 942. Tactics trading a bit below their current level, but I'm sure we'll get that up. Just got to do another run of Puzzle Rush 5-minute and survival. Software developer, proud husband and dad, struggling to improve in chess while handling daily life. Yeah, join the club. Actually, we had a couple of people like that, I think, earlier as well, with a similar situation. My advice to them, try to stay consistent, play one classical game a week, try to annotate one game a week, go through some books, and yeah, a little bit of time every day is the way to do it. Let's see the activity. Got the vid in. Okay, it looks like got some classical games. Probably doing more work outside the program and just not like tracking everything, which totally fine. Let's check out some games. See here, we got one from just a couple weeks ago. Nice. And I think we were white in this game. Or no, in this game we were playing black. I feel like I wish it would really default to the user perspective. Can that be another thing for Jack? Is that a thing? Has Jesse talked about it? It'd be nice if it defaulted to the person who uploaded the game, to just their perspective. Okay, so d4, d5, c4, e6, totally fine. Knight d7, c5, fighting for the center. Knight takes d5. In the previous position, we could take, we have like bishop b4 check here. We can't take. We do get queen a5 check. Oh, knight d2. No. The queen was important on d8. Uh-oh. And that's it. Of course, white should have gone back with the horse or bishop d2. Both would have been fine. Instead, we get this one. e4, knight c7. Bishop c4 takes. Queen f3, knight e5. Sharp stuff. But I like knight e5, defending and attacking. Takes on f7. Take this one. And we got everything here. Got absolutely everything. Finally, castle. Beautiful. Get the king out. g3. I think we can take this one. Bishop h3. Even better. Getting ready to take next. Rook d7. We take the rook. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's also fine to maybe checkmate your opponent as well occasionally. You know, checkmate ends the game, I would say. So if you have an obvious way to open up the opponent's king, but okay, taking the rook, no problem here. Rook d8, yeah, a little bit too safe, you know. We got everything here. We got everything. Bishop h3, bishop g4. White is not surviving this, but okay, totally fine. Oh, we got bishop e5. All right, now it's all over. Now it's all over. Okay, good stuff. Queen g4, I think. I'm not sure about that. We had a lot of better moves probably, taking, but good game. Once again, just shows like if you're a little bit careful in the opening, your opponents will hang stuff. Of course, we hung the pawn. That wasn't good. So c5, I think a little bit too premature. Bishop e7 is a normal move here. c6 also totally fine. I think bishop e7, this would be, let's say, the most solid way to play, with a typical plan of developing the other bishop to b7, excuse me, and then eventually playing c5. You can take on c4 at some point to open up the bishop. You go c5. This is kind of the classical approach. You don't have to know any opening theory. You just kind of develop your pieces to very natural squares. And yeah, black gets a good game. Okay, good stuff. Daniel, hope to see you here again. Keep up the good work. Last up, we got Peter Gibson, graduating to 1,100. Peter writes, longtime chess player returning to the game 50 years later. Welcome back, Peter. Welcome back. Dang. From the Fisher Boom. I'm finding the program very helpful and especially like the emphasis on tactics in the classical tournaments on Lichess. Glad to hear. Had a really good tournament recently which bumped up my CFC rating about 150 points. Nice. CFC is Canada rating. Looks like we're up to over 1,200 CFC, putting Peter in the 1,000 to 1,100 cohort. Nice. Let's see the activity. Opening and some welcome to the dojo tasks. Love it. Love it. All right, we're reading logical chess move by move. We did some tactics tests, checkmate tests, classical games, puzzle survival. Love it, folks. Love it. Yeah, it's all here. Silman endgame. Beautiful. Let's check out a game. Looks like we got one from a couple months ago. So Peter, if you have a chance, definitely upload some more games so we can see how you're progressing. All right, let's see this one. Playing black here. Sicilian. Queen c7. Yeah, it kind of runs into knight d5, which would be annoying. This takes, and then this guy is pinned. So bishop d7, this is like the typical move as we put in the notes. So good stuff, already learning from the mistake. Just to support this guy, you break the pin, and black is very solid. Anyways, white took, so we're happy here. Rook d8. I guess we're playing for d5. I think totally fine. Rook b8, also very logical. Just putting the rook on an open file. Bishop e6. It's okay. We weaken ourselves a bit, so I don't love it. It's okay, but I don't love it. Queen a5. I don't hate it, though. Totally fine for black. Honestly, totally fine. Knight b6. c5. Now we're talking. We got d5 in, f5, d4, e5. This does look scary for our king, and we get mated. So what happened here? What happened? We let white attack the king, and simply didn't feel the danger. So let's go back. Not sure what the time usage was like in this game, but yeah, we were doing fine. Instead of knight b6, one thing I would say, the knight often likes sitting on e5 as well. This maybe is a better square for the knight. We're also eyes the c4 square. And on f4, you always have either knight c4 or knight g4 as well. So you're very happy to take this dark squared bishop, because then your guy will be a beast. And then after c3, I think knight c4 right away should have been played, because white really doesn't want to lose the bishop. Probably have to play something like bishop h6, and then you're happy because your knight is active. I don't know, maybe a move like queen h5. So basically what happened was we neglected the king side here, and eventually white manages to open things up. So yeah, here after f4, we had to be really circumspect about what's happening to our king, because f5 is coming. That seems to be the opponent's idea, opening up the king side. I think we just had to appreciate this a bit longer. So either we immediately create some serious counterplay, or we take some defensive measures, which would include bringing pieces back. That's kind of the main defensive idea. Let's say like knight d7, for example. This is a good one because you're trying to use this e5 square, which, notice, we can't use this right now, but check this out. It's called a magic trick, where you anticipate your opponent's moves. Because I would bet you that white is going to play f5 at some point. Usually this is their idea. If they're playing f4, they want to play f5. But now, when we take this one, we get this e5 square for the knight. So it wasn't there available at first, but thinking about what the opponent is going to do and anticipating it, we bring the knight here. And then I think this would be a much different story. Because here, I think you do get the defense. Your knight is beautiful on e5, g6 is defended. You can open up your second rook with e6, as happened in the game, which I really did like this idea. But here, I think black is defending, and it's a different story. And you might ask, okay, what if white doesn't play f5? Well, then the knight is still heading to f6, maybe to f8, and it can be very useful on the king side to defend. So I think black would have been all right here. Okay, based on this one game, got to work on the sense of danger a bit, but overall, doing good stuff. Everyone's doing good work. Folks, that's going to wrap it up for this show. This has been the graduate show for the under 1000s for this week. On Friday, not Thursday, on Friday, I will be doing the rest of the graduates, so the players above 1000. Looks like we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for this week, so we'll have a good number of games to go through. Folks, thanks for tuning in. I got to run now.